Yeah. Oh, wait, what about the pre-survey? Maybe we could just have that up while we're saying our introduction.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mindful Steps 2. If this is your first time taking Mindful Steps, that's totally fine. This is a standalone class, so that we do go a little bit deeper than Mindful Steps 1. So my name is Julie Brzezinski-Lewis. I'm a neuroscientist. Ladies?
Hi, I'm Laurel Falconberry. I'm outpatient therapist at Chestnut Ridge, and I've been with the mindfulness team for probably close to 7 years. Welcome.
Yeah.
Heidi?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Heidi Sherwin. I am a yoga and mindfulness and meditation instructor, and I've been with the group, for, where are we? About 1.5 years now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
So I'm going to begin with a little overview of the course. So if you were not or want a reintroduction to the definition of mindfulness, John Kabat-Zinn created a secular mindfulness program in the 70s, and it was for heart patients. They were told, go see a dietitian, go see exercise, rehab, but never given any tools for stress, just cut out stress. So this was created to help people. He defined mindfulness as an awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose. And I like that as a neuroscientist. My PhD work and postdoc work was on attention. And so there is the type of attention where our brain just gets kind of hijacked, either, by social media, or just kind of are, just going with whatever we see, or watching television. But here it's about directing our attention on purpose in the present moment, so we're aware of what's happening right now, and probably most importantly, non-judgmentally. There's going to be a very strong running theme about being kind to oneself, having a sense of humor with ourselves, and loving ourselves. So, we are worthy, and that can be a real sticking point sometimes, because we're, have a little bit of a habit of being hard on ourselves. So, we're going to be checking in with ourselves. We're going to be doing a practice with Heidi later on, where we can check our energy, and we can learn to do that repeatedly throughout the day. Like, how's my energy, and how should I be treating myself? Practice kind of connecting with a sense of intention, which gives that sense of purpose, as well as a back pocket set of practices. And hopefully connecting it with other, what we're teaching is secular, but you can connect these practices with whatever is meaningful to you. And today we'll be doing a set of practices that are really our basic core. We'll be doing these practices, and they really only take like 3 to 5 minutes in sequence at the beginning of each of our subsequent talks. So this is a set of things that we hope that you might want to try to make a regular practice, because it really gets your body and mind kind of awake and aware. Next week will be, it's perfect for all but you, Sasha, our gloomy day. This is just kind of a gloomy time of year, and reconnecting with our sense of joy, getting our groove back, and knowing that we have those inner resources to do that despite the weather, whether that's metaphorical or literal. Next, the following week will be, and this is why this is Mindful Steps 2 is a little bit deeper, we'll explore how to apply that joy even to the unpleasant, unsavory moments of life. Waiting in line. Yesterday I was behind a car, went all through my neighborhood at 5 miles per hour, and I had to apply a little humor to that. And then the next week will be about, communication and connection. Our brains are wired for connection, more so than almost anything else. Like close connection with nature, with others, with our world makes us feel, like we're part of something larger, and we're wired to actually feel reward when we have meaningful connections. So that's a really important week. And then again, because we're going to be diving a little deeper into our experiences, mindful mishaps. You can't avoid making mistakes. Everyone does. And how do we approach those? Do we think, oh my gosh, I'm so terrible? A kind of more uplifted approach to that. And then finally, keeping it going, how do we integrate these practices with our lives? And that's going to be different for each one of you. This is all about ideas. And that's the next part of the talk I'm going to talk about, setting your own specific intention for the course. And I'm going through some of the science. But before we do that, we're going to check in with a little mindfulness mini break with Laurel so that, we're interspersing the experiences.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Julie, for giving a beautiful overview of our 6 weeks together. So what I'd like to do with you all, just for a minute, and it's pretty powerful, is just to sit in silence for a moment. So you can close your eyes or a fuzzy gaze down. So I encourage you to do one or the other. If closing eyes isn't comfortable, then just kind of a slow gaze down towards your lap or the floor without lowering your head, just your eyes. And hopefully you're all sitting in a comfortable position without distractions right now. So it's really important for mindfulness in this hour is to just unplug from everything else. If you can if you can move your computer, close the screen, close your door, so that you're really just focusing on this present moment. So these are called tingsha bells, and I'm going to ring them 3 times. And it's just kind of a signal to you to go inward. It's nice to have a signal sometimes. Sometimes people put bells on their phone or put a nature sound on their phone to remind them to take a deep breath, because lots of times throughout the day we hold our breath. So I'd encourage you to take a deep breath now. Let's do a cleansing deep breath. So 1 deep breath in from the belly, all the way up to the lungs. And then maybe with a sigh, let it go, let it go, let it go. And then now bring your breath back to a normal breathing in and out. Nice and normal flow. And let's close our eyes or a funny gaze down. Listen to the bells till you can't hear them anymore. And then we'll just do this for 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Allow yourself. Now slowly bring your awareness back to your room. And just notice how you're feeling, how that 1 minute was for you. And however it was is fine, without judgment or criticism. However it was is fine. So we'll do this at the beginning of each class. Julie, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, even if we're going to talk about, later on how to approach if we have thoughts. It's not trying to get rid of them, and this is how we're going to integrate our thoughts and emotions. So being in the mindfulness field, I was kind of there since the early 2000s when it really started to grow. And what we noticed was that its portrayal in the media could often be super hype, which actually doesn't do anyone any good. Mindfulness is not a magic pill that's going to make all your problems go away. And if you have that expectation, then you're going to try it and be like, wow, I wasn't instantly cured. But it does, research studies have shown that it can be very beneficial. So Nicholas Van Dam and myself and other researchers wrote a paper together called Mind the Hype several years ago. And Nicholas went on to publish another paper that I really like, especially for our mountaineer state. A meditation is like mountaineering, approach it with care. And in this study, he talked about setting a bit of an aspiration, an expectation based on what mountain you want to climb. So if you want to just climb a hill that's in your neighborhood, that's, one level of commitment to the practice. But, if you wanted to climb Spruce Knob, say like from the, whatever river is at the bottom all the way to the top, that takes a little bit more effort and training. And so over time you would build up to, maybe look at more like, let's give the mishap example, like something that's a little bit more, uncomfortable, right? You want to start a little easier. And so if you are mountaineering, especially if you're doing something a little more intense, you wouldn't do that without training. You have some prerequisites. One of the great things about taking a course with us versus, just putting an app on your phone and never, getting any training is that you can ask us questions. Ask a question anytime in the chat. And if you're not comfortable doing that, you can send one to Anthony and he will send it to us. And don't, if you have a question, most likely, a third of you might have the exact same question. So don't feel bad about asking. That's really good. Some people might like my monkey mind. I can't stop thinking. I can't stop thinking. Well, yeah, that's really common experience, and it's something that these types of things are workable, and we can work through that together. Also, self-knowledge. Where are you at right now? We're going to be doing an exercise with Heidi in just a few minutes where, on any given day or, kind of a period of life, you might be more ready to be a little more brave, or you might be needing more relaxation because there's a lot of stress. And so being able to craft your intention based on what's going on right now is very important. So with anything, there's a risk-benefit ratio. So, what are the risks of not challenging yourself? If you have kind of the energy and aptitude right now, putting yourself in a growth zone, even though there might be like a little moments of uncomfort or moments where you're like kind of bored with the meditation, you're like, am I doing it right? Those types of things will help you grow. And then sometimes you'll see like a little monster under your bed, like, oh, I have that unsavory thought that makes me uncomfortable. Well, when you really look at it, it just kind of comes and goes, and it's not as scary as you think. And that can be very, very like a huge weight off your shoulders. So these practices can be beneficial in that way. It does require, it cultivates bravery and confidence and, a sense of accomplishment in that sense. So just because it's kind of a task, you can come up with a little slogan for when you feel a bit discouraged. So you can do this or not. We really want to make this lighthearted and fun. I have, been in the field quite a long time, and some programs are so serious. And I'm like, West Virginians, I don't think they would respond to such seriousness, nor should we. So Colson Glover was Mountaineer for 2 years. He is actually also a neuroscientist. He actually helped put together some of the stuff in my lab. And so I like to use the Let's Go Mountaineers, see myself as a mountaineer. And, if I feel a little bit down, or I don't want to meditate today, let's go Mountaineers. So you can come up with your own fun slogan. So if we're ready to get started, we're going to do a practice with Heidi called the 5-point check. I don't know if BBME is a really good acronym, but body, breath, mind, emotions, energy. could be something BBME ASAP. You could use, to remember the practice. But I'm going to unshare the screen so that Heidi can lead us.
Oh, Heidi, you're muted.
Muted.
Yeah, I just realized that I'm muted. Hi, everyone. Julie, I love that little, the BBB. But what's true about that is I was looking and like, oh my gosh, that's so cool because it's be me, right? And the 5-point check that we're inviting you to do every day as a daily practice, and maybe even more than once a day within your practice of mindfulness. It is about checking in and listening to you. As in Mindful Steps 2, we are kind of taking this another step in, right? And mindfulness is that journey in. It's about what's going on with you right here, right now, today, right? Being present on purpose, as Julie was sharing. And so the 5-point check is kind of our our mental and physical check-in. And then when we do our movement, we're also going to kind of allow the 5-point check to be present as we move, so that we're connected with how things are occurring for us, because everything is going to treat each of you differently. The breath work might be like the thing like, oh, that was great. The mindfulness of that Laurel's going to share, or compassion, or maybe it's the movement. And all of these things have an effect on us internally, right? So taking care to listen is really about our 5-point check and this Mindful Steps 2 journey. So as Julie mentioned, the 5 points, you know, you can think of it like a star, or just like look at your hands some days and like, hey, how are my 5 points going? You have your body, your breath, your mind, your emotions or mood, and then your collective energy, right? And they're all part of the wholeness of what we might be experiencing in the now. And again, it's a way to check in. So any moment during your day, you're like, hey, how am I doing these 5 points? Is there any one in particular that is sending me a few more signals that perhaps I could support a little better? Maybe my body, I notice like, I'm really thirsty, or I'm hungry. I didn't realize, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten for 5 hours. Right? Sometimes we get so busy in our day that, you know, we quiet some of the signals within. So 5-point check is like, I'm listening, turning up the volume. So if you're ready to practice, I'm going to guide you through just one way that you could check in with you. And this one is just, you know, just a little bit longer, but know that taking a breath or two with each point could be your practice throughout the day. So wherever you are, as you're showing up, just take a moment, as Laurel guided, just to be present in your seat. If you need to reshift, if you've been sitting for a while and you'd rather stand, feel free. Maybe you'd like to anchor your hands to your legs. Or if it feels okay today, maybe a hand at the center of the chest. I know you can't see me here sitting, but maybe a hand just right at the upper belly area. And then the 5 points kind of goes from gross, not yuck, but gross, like the most tangible, like bigger part of what we can notice here is the body. Just checking in with you here, the sensations showing up for you in the body. As you tune in and listen, it's not about judging or critiquing the body, but sincerely saying hello. Hi, body. How are you feeling today? Can even do such a quick brushstroke of a body scan. Just getting that big picture of legs, trunk of the body, arms, head. And as you start to notice the body, you might naturally notice this next point, the breath. As the breath is constantly shape changing within the body. So now gently turn your attention to the breath, just as it's showing up. Nothing to change or make happen. What is your breath saying to you in this moment? Any sensation of maybe it's congested today. Maybe it feels soft and fluid, or full, or shallow. Again, nothing to judge. This is a check-in. Sensing your breath, sensing your body being breathed. And now through the body, the breath, you're naturally paying attention, So taking your gaze, inner gaze, to the landscape, that is paying attention, the mind. And the mind is this landscape of focus and creativity and thoughts. So for a moment, just let yourself see the sky of the mind. Maybe you notice it's busy with thoughts, or it's feeling a little more focused on one thing. Is there anything your mind might be asking you to hear more clearly or see with more focus that's pertinent to this moment of paying attention? Now, body, breath, mind, a little more into the body, mood and emotion. Our thoughts often influence emotion and vice versa. They do a little dance together. So as you settle and breathe and notice, do you sense any emotion or mood arising on the surface of this time, this now? Like checking your mood meter. Again, nothing to judge, just however it's showing up for you. An emotion is wanting to be seen, heard, felt. Now continue gently checking in, almost this more holistic quality, body, breath, mind, emotions, to the energy, that collective energy. Sometimes we feel energetically kind of tired and low, or upregulated, energized, or sometimes a little more, we might say even keeled or balanced. Kind of ride that spectrum throughout the day naturally, but where is your energetic meter right now? Give you another moment of checking in. Maybe you drift back to one of the other points, or maybe you're holding all collectively. So inviting this opportunity as a way to drop in, to sense, to feel, and be present. Now, one of the gifts of the check-in is after checking in and listening and feeling, there might be a response that's appropriate in the now as you navigate your needs. Like I said earlier, maybe you notice like, oh, I'm hungry or I'm thirsty, or man, I'm tired. I could use a little outdoor fresh air and a little snack simultaneously to feed the needs that I realized I needed to support. So through taking the pause, we can respond with care through the 5-point check. Thank you for allowing me to share that with you. I hope you found that useful. And we're going to shift over to Julie, who's going to guide us in a little intention practice.
Yeah, so before we talked about the type of mountain you want to climb, and we just did this exercise, and that kind of gives us a sense of where we are. So I invite you, if you have a piece of paper or have to do it electronically on your phone, just writing a little intention for what you hope to get out of this course and how much you'd like to invest. You know, are you wanting to do something every day? Are you just like, hey, I'm going to do it once a week with the group, and that's going to be my thing, but I'm going to try just maybe a tiny bit every day of, you know, connecting. We're going to be sending a little theme for 5 of the days of the weekdays. And then a cheer if you'd like to create a, you know, like the Let's Go Mountaineer cheer that I talked about. And if you want, you can keep that to yourself. We're going to have a few moments, but if you want to share in the chat, that would be awesome too. So we'll give you a couple minutes now to write down an intention. And if you are also watching this asynchronously, you know, you can share a cheer with us by, you know, sending it to Anthony. And we're going to be having a Qualtrics survey each week where you can submit your home practice. And if you're doing this for the health points, or we're going to be creating a certificate program, and if you want retrospectively to get, you know, want to maybe get a kind of mindfulness certificate, this might be part of the program. That might be, you know, no matter what, doing the surveys help you kind of have a little accountability and kind of prompt you with some questions for the task. So thinking now about your intention. Dr. Sharda Udasi has shared, I want to get to a point of doing mindfulness activity on a regular basis. That's very good. In fact, there's a study that showed just a short 6 or 8 week course and with physicians led to benefits 12 months later, 15 months later. So, you know, just by doing these practices regularly, it changes your whole relationship with things like burnout.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How often? Julie, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, Laurel.
Well, how often? I think you kind of answered that. Try to do a little bit every day. And a little bit can be minutes.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes 20 minutes is called Western Standard Time of meditative mindfulness practice. But, you know, just because within 20 minutes you start to upregulate things in your genome and downregulate things in your genome. So I presented some science in the previous course that, you know, 20 minutes, you really start to see. So if at least once a week you do a 20-minute thing, you're going to start to see more physiological benefits. But even just a very short thing is like closing your browser tabs is how I like to describe it. Like, you know, if all of a sudden you even take 30 seconds or 20 seconds of a little mindful breathing, that's like closing your browser tabs. Yeah. More CPU is freed.
Yeah.
And allowing, I don't know if you can hear me, allowing, if it works for you, mindfulness might look different every day. You know, as I shared at the beginning of the 5-point check, what you do on today, right, might look different tomorrow. Maybe a couple days a week, it's more of a movement mindfulness. And other days, you're more in a contemplative or compassion mindfulness practice with meditation or a walking meditation. But, you know, giving yourself chunks of time throughout the day for what mindfulness practice you need, and how you're going to fit that in. Yeah.
I love the ones coming in, having a little calm in my life, boosting mindful practice to increase the connection of mind and body. And that's really right up our alley. And I like this Mindful February from Erica Deal. You know, you might create, you know, kind of a, hey, this is going to be my month. And then sometimes setting that little boundary creates a habit that's going to continue beyond the month, or you can adapt it beyond.
Yeah.
Oh, and Julie.
Oh, a cheer.
Yes,
I like
a cheer.
that.
2, 4, 6, 8. Take a break. It will feel great. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just on a call with Clay Marsh yesterday, and he was talking about, you know, how do we get through to people that you need to take breaks? You know, you're gonna, you know, if you think that like you're gonna be looked down on, or you know, your performance is actually gonna go down if you don't take breaks. Yeah. So if you're concerned about that aspect,
and then and then Julie Robbins says, my chant is time to be still.
Oh, yeah, time to be still. I like the is it Deb Davis, the filter so you don't get out of kilter. I love that.
Ooh.
Like filter, what is it? I need like right now. So I'm not getting pulled everywhere. Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. These are great.
Yeah, I'm going to use some of them. Thanks.
I know.
Yes, yeah.
And I think I can speak for all three of us, Laurel and Heidi, but I feel every time I feel like I'm taking the Mindful Steps course, even when we are instructors, we are applying the practices too, and I feel like I learned something
Absolutely.
about myself each time.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Me too. Me too. What
Maybe
do you
keep on
say?
learning, that's fine.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, maybe we could move on.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Heading into some movement. Oh, if it's okay, I'm going to spotlight my video. There we go. Hopefully you can see me well. And in the view, if needed, if not already, just put it on speaker view. But here I am spotlighted. And as I shared just a little bit ago, one of the big intentions of Mindful Steps 2 is this turning inward a little more, getting comfortable with tuning in a little bit more, because sometimes that feels awkward, right? Especially if we're in service to others all day and like, I don't have time to check in with me, right? Or what am I saying? I'm so used to like quieting because I'm out in service to others that turning in is like, what are you saying? Or sometimes it's too loud, like, oh, I haven't listened to you for a long time. So in what ways through this Mindful Steps course can we be a little more gentle with ourselves as we tune in? And tuning in with a sensitivity of compassion and care and non-judgment. And through the movement practices that we'll do, the yoga practices that we'll do, we will kind of journey into that. So we'll move in a gentle way. Today, I'm going to offer you a half sun salute, which can be integrated into maybe your daily practice. It can be something you could do, in less than a minute if you just need a little quick pickup of breath and energy. And sometimes it's also a nice way to down regulate. That's why I like it so much, because it's something you can do to like boost your energy. And sometimes if you're feeling like, I just need to get back in my body and slow down, the half sun salute can offer you that as well. And as we journey throughout each week together, I'll be offering some different movement practices, but again, in a gentle way. And sometimes, like when we go into joy, a playful way too. I'm a big fan of play. And, the other day I saw, a meme on Facebook. It's where I go for memes. It's the best information, right? But it was, and Julie might be able to back this up. But when we're trying to learn something new, right? You can, try it so many times, like hundreds of times, just like learning it one way. But if you try it through the approach of play, you learn it much quicker, right? And I'm like, I'm thumbs up to that. And play as it means to you. You don't have to be on a playground, but all right. So with that, the movement today is a half sun salute. And we'll be doing that from a standing position. But if you are more comfortable seated today, you can do all the movements from the trunk of the body in a seated position if you'd like. So taking a moment, giving yourself a little bit of space to stand. I'm going to step back just a bit. So this quality of tuning in, there's a term called interoception, right? That's tuning into how we're feeling, what we're sensing within, right? It's kind of the not quite the opposite, but it's another way of being and thinking in the body, like compared to proprioception. Proprioception is what's my place, what's my body doing? How am I navigating my body as I walk around or balance and create shapes, right? Or what's happening in the activity of my day and how's my body responding to that? So interoception invites you again to tune in. So as you stand, before we move to the half sun salute, just take a moment and land back into the body, like the 5-point check. Land some energy into your feet, getting a sense of how your feet are feeling. If they're in shoes, wiggle them about. If you're able to like kick off your shoes, take them off. And then noticing your legs holding you up. And then your spine. Can you grow your spine any amount comfortably tall? Not trying to force it and be rigid with the tallness in your spine, but just a gradual uplifting, where from the earth to the top of the head and beyond, you feel some length growing. Arms can rest gently by your side, checking in to see how you feel here. Maybe palms like to face the body, or you can even turn the arms, palms facing out. All of these cues I offer, they're just invitations for you to get a sense of what feels best in your body today. So now saying hello to your mountain, we'll check in with the breath. The half sun salute uses the breath to move through different shapes. So greet your breath here. Noticing the breath maybe flowing in and out through the nose. Not trying to force the breath in any way. And now that you've caught on to the breath, we'll coordinate breath and movement, just the arms to start. As you inhale, bring your arms out and up any amount. Stop at any time that the shoulders are back, say, pause. And then as you exhale, lower the arms down by your side. That's it. We're going to do that a couple more times to generate that coordination. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, lower down. An invitation here, keep with the arms, but inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, exhale out the mouth like a soft sigh. Take that just 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Notice if you start to kind of steady out the breath a little more. Inhale. Exhale. All right, you're building a pattern, building a pace. Let's add on half sun salute. I'll guide you through. You're going to inhale to a tall mountain. Now with your exhale, bend your knees a little bit, hinge your hips and fold forward any bit. Pause at any time that the legs are back or a little voice inside says stop. Maybe resting hands to the legs, towards the earth. You can even rest on blocks or a chair. Take a little extra breath here. We'll flow a little more consecutively in a bit, but just feel this pose. And now notice an exhale, breathe out. And now as you inhale, spine comes halfway up. So it's like you're floating parallel to the earth, almost like you're making a number 7. Hands can rest to the front of the legs, shins, even onto a chair or blocks. Feel a gentle pull from tailbone to the top of the head and see if there's any amount of broadening of the chest that you can create today. Let the body breathe, get a sense of the shape. Take one more inhale. And now bend the knees a little bit, hinge your hips, fold forward again. Look to your feet, press your feet down, tone your legs, and with a big inhale, start to stand up, stretch up, reach your arms high, and then exhale, arms by your side. Just rest in mountain for a moment. Let the mind, let the nervous system kind of reset, reflect on what you just did. And now we're going to sync that up 3 times, just flowing breath and movement. All cue, you go at the pace of your breath, feeling into how this half sun salute feels today. Resting in mountain, say hello to the breath. With a smooth, full inhale, reach your arms high. As you exhale, gently bend your knees, hinge your hips, fold any amount towards the earth. Hands can rest to legs, a chair, or some blocks. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen out through your spine, chest wide. Exhale, release into your fold again. Look to your feet, press your feet down to rise up. Give yourself a comfortable stretch tall. Exhale, arms by your side. We'll do 2 more. Flow at your pace. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, gently fold. Chin can tuck in a little bit as you fold. Halfway lift. Reaching long through your spine, send your gaze slightly forward. Exhale into your fold. Press down into your feet, rooting legs as you rise high. And then arms by your side, exhale. One more time. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, fold a tall mountain. Arms by your side, exhale. Take a moment to pause. Reset your shape if needed, but still stay present. How are you feeling? Energy, mood, thoughts, sensing the breath, sensing the body. Before we take a seat, after the half sun salute, I'm just going to offer just a little side bend, a little quick sway before we sit again. But if you could take your right hand to your belly, reach on up with your left arm. Take a side bend. Maybe notice an exhale as you side bend. And then inhale, come back up. Left hand will swap with the right, bringing up the right arm. Exhale, side bend. And then inhale, come back up. Releasing back into your mountain, arms by your side. Step your feet, if available, just a little bit wider. And then shift side to side with the feet and allow the trunk of the body to sway. Arms can feel a little heavy. Maybe arms stay close, or if you want, really windmill the arms out to the side. You might move slow or fast, depending on the energy that you want to curate. Just a couple more times. And then slowing that down. Right. Slowing it down and bringing yourself back into a sense of a steady mountain. Maybe shifting side to side in your feet. Landing into your legs. Gracefully tall spine, arms resting to your side. Take just a moment to come back in to the body, breathing. We're going to take 3 final breaths together. Full breath in, inhale, feel the body expand 3-dimensionally. Exhale out the mouth. 2 more for you. Inhale, comfortably full. Front body, back body, taking the breath. Exhale out the mouth. 1 more. Exhale. And just notice how the breath will naturally calibrate to a pace that you need right now. Feel free to stay standing for Laurel's meditation if it feels good to stand for a bit, or if you've been standing, reset into your seat. Thank you so much for this time to share movement with all of you.
Oh, thank you, Heidi. I feel more centered, grounded, and energized and calm. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to do a mindfulness guided meditation. So keeping this inward focus into our body, into our emotions, into our mind. Um, yeah, thank you so much. So again, if it's comfortable to close your eyes, you may do so. If not, a fuzzy gaze downward, either one is wonderful. Um, Going to our inner body interoception again. So just notice your next inhalation. Is it warm or cool in the nostrils? And your next exhalation. Is it warm or cool in the nostrils? Now just paying attention to that for just a minute or so. Allowing your breath to ride like the waves on the gentle ocean. Easy in, easy out. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just being here present in this present moment. You might feel the temperature of your room against your skin, or your clothing against your skin. And on your next exhalation, just drop your shoulders and jaw a little bit more into this present moment. Letting go just a little bit more without any expectations, no goals to be achieved, just being, a pure sense of being present without judgment or criticism, just allowing yourself to be. Now, if you could guide your awareness to your feet, wiggling your toes a bit to feel that connection. And now, feeling that connection to the earth from the soles of your feet, imagining as best you can, as though you had roots like a tree, grounding you deeply into the earth through all the many beautiful layers. Feeling this sense of groundedness, connection, strength, resiliency. And now, if you could imagine breathing those qualities up through your left and right leg, into your left and right hip. And now feeling the full weight of your body on what you're sitting. And notice your breath once again, allowing it to flow easily in and out. Breathing in, I notice I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I notice I'm breathing out. And now just notice your next thought. Minds love to think, that's what our mind does. And let's just notice that, observe your next thought. Is it a future thought, a past thought? Just try to observe with some curiosity. Is it a heavy thought or a light thought? Once you've observed it enough, you take your time and come on back gently to your breath. Feeling your breath in your nostrils again. And allowing this to be your anchor. So when your mind thinks another thought, again, just observe it. When you find that you're lost in a thought, oh, I'm lost in a thought. And then gently and kindly bring your awareness back to your breath and beginning anew each time without any judgment or criticism, just beginning anew each time. So now again, feeling your feet grounded to the earth, bringing your full awareness back to your room. And slowly open your eyes if they're closed. And just notice what you're feeling. And whatever you're feeling is okay. It's all okay if you're feeling a little more anxious or more relaxed or bored, whatever you're feeling. It's okay, and guaranteed it'll change each time. Each time, no expectations, no goals to achieve, just being here present. So thank you for taking this time for the mindfulness meditation. And Julie, would you like to talk about, we're kind of winding down. We're going to talk about the daily practices, right, Julie?
Yes, but I do want to do the gratitude because we often forget.
Yes.
It's just going to take a second, coming from this mindfulness, just reflecting on one thing today that you're grateful for. Our minds have a negativity bias. It's just part of how we're wired. Sometimes have to give it a little nudge to think of something that we're grateful for, something positive. So feeling that, and wishing that, and kind of reveling in everyone has something, and hoping that people feel a little less stress, get to enjoy more of the things that they were grateful for. So we have some things that hopefully will enrich our practice. One of them is a sequence. I'm sure if the sequence is in the right order. But setting an intention, doing the 5-point check. Now, Heidi led us through a longer version of the 5-point check, Sun Salute. Laurel led us through a longer version of a mindfulness meditation, but these things can be condensed or expanded to whatever you have time for. So you're going to see that at the beginning of next class, we're going to do this entire sequence within about 3 minutes. So, 3 to 5 minutes, you can really, do this very, just doing, hey, what is my intent? I'm doing this to benefit myself so I can, benefit the world, and be kind to myself, be kind to others. Having, and checking in on your intention that you might have written down today, okay, this is time that I'm investing, for my own enrichment. Doing the check, how is my energy today? What can I expect? Maybe I've got to say, hey, I said I was going to do this, but, I really can't do that today. Or maybe like, oh, I've been doing just a small amount, but today I feel really energetic and want to do a little more. So being able to adapt all these things. So we're giving you a sequence, and Anthony's going to be sending that to you. There's the videos of, and Anthony will send the video of the sequence of the half sun salute, etc. But there's a whole bunch of videos on mindfulness from our team, both on YouTube, our YouTube page, and our Facebook page. Both pages are called Mindful Steps to VP. And then we're setting up these quests. I think I have the days of the week right. Correct me if I'm wrong. But starting today, like, really connecting with your warm-hearted intention of what reminding yourself of your intention to cultivate yourself a bit, or be kind to yourself, or find something that helps you de-stress, whatever it is, reminding yourself of that. Maybe, it's a Post-it note. Maybe, it's a little, screen on your phone. And then tomorrow, pausing throughout the day and doing that 5-point check, really getting in the habit, your BB me. How is my breath and body? How is my mood and my mind? What are they doing? Oh, wow, it's really full of thoughts today. So, and I just noticed that we now have the nice blue skies that we're in we've got the skies of Sasha. And then, finding a day to connect with your cheer, and then, by doing it, emphasizing it for a day, it might become more of a habit. And, maybe Tuesday is gratitude day. And then Wednesday, reflecting on the whole week. And we send out a homework or home practice Qualtrics link. And if you're getting this for the wellness points, and again, if we should be creating a certificate or badge for this course so that you can get a credential if you want in the future, but isn't guaranteed. But by filling out the homework, you are benefiting yourself and give yourself some options for the future. So that is what we're wanting to share with you today. Do you have any questions? We are wanting to be respectful of your time. We know that sometimes people have a back-to-back meeting and, you know, might need to, actually, we just talked about this with Clay Marsh yesterday, giving people a little time if you do need to use facilities before your 1 o'clock meeting or something. But also there's an after poll to fill out. We would love to, you know, get a sense of what you connected with today. So it not only asked questions about stress, it's totally anonymous, by the way. But it, you know, how did you connect with the different types? However, and it gives, and if you have any questions, comments, anything else you want to either put in the chat or unmute yourself.
Yeah, because we're sharing a lot today with you.
Yeah.
And some of it you might have heard, and some of it may be very new. So even sharing just how this is settling in your body. How are you feeling after our time together today? Yeah, we're so grateful for you. I'm so grateful that the sun is out and that, you know, everyone in my family, knock on wood, is very healthy today. I seem to be focusing more on health recently. You know, sometimes we focus on different things in our life, but I'm very grateful for health. How about you, Heidi?
I was thinking the same thing about the sunshine. Well, good health too, but as class was progressing, my windows over here, like more and more sun came, and I didn't realize how much I needed the sun. It's been so gray lately. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna hit the sunshine in a bit to take a walk for a little mindfulness break.
Mm-hmm.
I had yesterday we looked at where I was kind of behind a slow driver. In the past, I'm a little bit of a type A road ragey type of individual. And I really didn't have any. I mean, I kind of was like, okay, could they move a little faster? But I just noticed how much mindfulness has helped me apply some perspective and humor in my life, and I was feeling really grateful for that. Like, you know, I actually have noticed some big areas where, you know, in the past I would have been so hard on myself and berating myself, and I can catch myself now from doing that. And so I guess I was feeling grateful for mindfulness.
Oh, no. Yeah. And I just was reading the chats quickly, and just thank you all for your graciousness and your grace, your care that you're appreciating, and you're excited to come back next week.
Yes.
Oh, Sasha's asking about light therapy. You know, there are these full spectrum. Bright light is the most important, but just being careful not to have blue lights before night. My department chair actually did research, and he kind of discovered by accident that blue light at night, even a tiny dim blue light, and almost everything has these stupid little blue lights on them. I put black tape on everything like that because it can interrupt the quality of sleep, and even it resulted in things like cancer and stress. So that's really like, important. So we appreciate you. If there's
Thank you. Yeah.
Parting last words. Be kind and try to honor yourself this week. Checking in like we've done today with what you need and what you want.
And have a little fun.
Yes.
Like if you catch yourself being too serious with mindfulness, that you know, then you know, just maybe shake out or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
love that. Yeah. Sometimes a little you know, movement can be structured, like a half sun salute, right? And sometimes movement that helps is like dogs do it, animals do it in nature, like to reset the nervous system. Just a little
you said
put on a song or just like shake.
You said something wonderful when we presented to nurses last week about how movement can really get you unstuck if you're having kind of a freeze response to stress. So I thought that was great, Heidi. I mean, I've actually
Yeah.
used it a couple times this week because I had some deadlines, and I'm like, okay, move, move, do a little
Uh-huh.
forward bend.
Yes. Yeah. Because yes, because, speaking from experience and then some experience with others, yes, our thoughts can sometimes get us very stuck, and even our mood and emotions. And there's nothing wrong with feeling stuck. It's
It's
noticing,
part of
like,
our
how
brain.
awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm noticing I'm stuck and I don't know how to move. I know how to move. Sometimes hear Laurel's voice because that sounds like Laurel saying, I know how to move. I know how to move. Maybe I just start moving my eyes, or maybe I just start giving my fingers oh, I know how to move. Okay, I can unstuck myself.
Pinky.
Yeah, a little pinky movement, right? And sometimes eye movement, or, oh, I'm breathing, that's movement. Or I can walk. I don't have to go for a run. I can just walk, right? Yeah.
No.
Walk down the hall. Yeah. Yeah, being gentle with
Oh.
ourselves. Thank you, Laura. You're so wonderful at always reminding me that, and all of us that, of the kindness and the gentleness. We need that lens too, just like we want to put that out into the world.
Yep, exactly. And Julie and both of you always remind me of humor. It's like, shake it out, shake it out. I think of that Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and thanks, Sharon, for sharing about, unclenching and breathe. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes clenching and then releasing is a way to, if you feel some kind of tightness, you could tighten it even more and then.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a really great somatic practice for the nervous system to intentionally, like you just said, tense and release, and
Yeah,
tense
yeah.
and
Progressive
release. That
means
progressive.
yeah.
Mhm.
Progressive relaxation.
Yeah.
Well, it's past 1 o'clock, so I think we are coming to our conclusion. Loved having you. We can't wait to see you next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you all. Have a lovely week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Mm.